Happy Thanksgiving! I want to talk to you today about the 4 different types of public speaking, and chances are maybe at the Thanksgiving dinner this year you might be giving one of these talks. All right, the first type of public speaking is the one where you're looking to inform. Yesterday I sat in on a talk by an author named Lisa Bloom, and Lisa Bloom is brought into the likes of Microsoft and Intel to teach their leadership how to tell stories in order to be engaging speakers. I was interested because, of course, I'm teaching my own class, so I can always learn. But her whole thing, her whole speech, her whole talk to inform me was really about what is your inner story? What is the inner story that you're telling yourself, and how does that impact the outer story that you're repeating to others? All right, the second type of public speaking is speaking to persuade. And I actually can give the same example because Lisa Bloom, after she gave us all this great information about speaking in stories, flipped to the script where she was trying to convince her audience to buy her upcoming book, which is called The Story Advantage, where she puts all of this great stuff that she was teaching us into a book form. So when you're speaking to persuade, what are you ultimately doing? You want your audience to take some action. Maybe it's enrolling in a course. Maybe it's that you want them to buy your book, as Lisa wanted us to do. But there's an action item that your audience is expected to take, and that is the second kind of speech, which is speaking to persuade. Now, the third kind of public speaking is speaking to entertain. This means the kind of talk that you're probably giving at a wedding. Maybe it's a talk that you're giving at a graduation ceremony, and it could even be the talk that you're going to give when you toast everyone at Thanksgiving this weekend. Now, here's the critical piece. I don't care what kind of public speaking you're doing, it's always going to be impactful if you can incorporate a personal story. A story that has a compelling beginning. What are you promising me? A middle, the actual story, the more emotional the better, and the ending, which is the takeaway not for you, but for your audience. Now, the fourth type of public speaking is an interview. One of the things that I want to leave you with on this video is this holiday, when you're kind of stuck as to what gifts to give people, because everybody already has everything, could you give the gift of story? Here's what I'm talking about. Interview your grandparents, interview the elders in your family, and ask them questions such as, what was it like when you first emigrated to this country? In the event that they're an immigrant. What was the street you grew up on? Who was your best friend and what did you like doing with them? What was your favorite toy when you were my age? And this is my favorite question, which is, tell me a story about the first time you met me. That could be really fun. Record it on your phone, record it on voice memo, and then give that as a gift to your children or to other members of the family. This is something that's going to be part of your legacy, and how wonderful could that be if you gave it to them in this form? So number 1, to recap, is speaking to inform. Number 2 is speaking to persuade and ask your audience to take a call to action. Number 3 is speaking to entertain, where you're going to be telling a personal story. Maybe it's a graduation speech. Maybe it's a speech that you give at a wedding. And number 4 is to interview. And this could end up being a wonderful gift that you give your family this holiday, especially since it's been a trying year. I have a little gift that I want to share with you today. If you need language to be able to break into a conversation or start a conversation or just establish some healthy boundaries with your family or people at work, I've created a handy dandy tip sheet. All you got to do is go and download it from joyadas.com, joyadas.com/be-heard/. I'll repeat that again. It's joyadas.com and then be-heard. And that's where you can find this little handy dandy tip sheet that you can download and keep it tucked away, because sometimes empowerment is just about having that language right in your back pocket to deploy in real time.